At ARC, there are a ton of presidents, vice presidents, and executives, probably around 30 or 40 of them. Don't expect to recognize them all at once, but you should know the key ones. Li Yue, the president of ARC's mobile internet business group. He's a real social butterfly and holds a special status in the company. This is Chen Ji and his wife. Chen Ji is ARC's tech director. The tech and product departments have always been rivals. Ms. Wei is ARC's CFO. She's one of ARC's veteran figures. The majority of the people present have to pay attention to her mood.
Take a look. I came across one at last year's auction. Unfortunately, I didn't get it.
I heard he often reworks other people's pieces, and then signs his own name. Although he's such a controversial artist, there's a large number of collectors chasing after his works.
Look at this one. A Mizawa piece collected in 2005. I remember the auction price was about $4.8 million. Miss Wei, you truly has the resources and the taste. Let's toast to Miss Wei.
Sure.
You can substitute tea for wine.
Mrs. Wei, right? Didn't Mr. Wei tell you the time? You're late. We've been here chatting for a while.
Sorry about that. I'm not familiar with the area. Indeed, I'm late.
Is everyone here? The plan for today is to get some exercise before dinner. But I won't force you. I'll go change my clothes first.
Let's go.
Join us, Mrs. Wei.
Honey, last time I recommended to you the British snooker coach. Did you take any classes afterwards?
I took 2 or 3 classes. It was exhausting and my eyes were strained.
What's going on? I thought we were just here for dinner. Why are there some exercise?
You have to deal with whatever comes. Don't be afraid of them. I'll be there in half an hour.
Mrs. Wei, why didn't you change into sportswear? It's my first time here, so I didn't prepare.
As you see, snooker requires a high level of skill. For the first time, it's hard to get the hang of it.
Yeah, we've all been training with Ms. Wei for a long time. Mrs. Wei, it doesn't matter whether you prepared or not. You should just watch from the sidelines. The rules are complex. You won't be able to figure it out right away.
Nice shot, Ms. Wei.
Miss Wei, you're amazing.
It's so difficult. Even O'Sullivan would find it challenging. Honey, there's no shame in losing to Miss Wei.
Who's up next?
Mrs. Wei, do you want to give it a try?
Her outfit might not be suitable for it. Maybe we should skip it.
Miss Wei,
Hey?
Why are you so late?
I'm here to bring Mrs. Wei's clothes.
Ah,
Mrs. Wei, Mr. Wei asked me to remind you not to be so careless when you go out. You didn't even notice you left without an outfit. Here you are.
I got it. Thanks. Mrs. Wei, now you have the clothes. Do you want to play around with Miss Wei?
Sure.
Miss Wei,
hey?
Why are you so late?
I'm here to bring Mrs. Wei's clothes.
Ah,
Mrs. Wei, Mr. Wei asked me to remind you not to be so careless when you go out. You didn't even notice you left without an outfit. Here.
I got it. Thank you. Mrs. Wei, now you have your clothes. Do you want to play around with Miss Wei?
Sure.
She's just lucky.
She's planning on a break and run?
Long-range shots aren't that easy. The accuracy is so low.
If it were me, I'd definitely take a shot. She's a pro.
A glass of water, please. Thanks.
Sure.
Mrs. Wei,
Miss Wei.
Here.
you were really great just now.
Just call me Lin.
Where did you learn to play snooker?
I joined the snooker club at Zhang University when I was in college.
You're from Jiang University?
Yes, I'm your junior, a few years behind you.
What a coincidence. Back in our university days, who taught you snooker?
Actually, I never formally learned it. Just a classmate of mine would guide me when he had time. But his snooker skills were taught by Lin Li. Oh, what's wrong?
No way. I was also taught by him. So we're from the same school of learning. Junior sister.
But what are they chatting about? They seem so happy.
Well, Mr. Wei's wife plays it so well. I've never heard of it.
She must have hired a British coach. I can tell just by looking.
I also found you a British coach, yet you've learned nothing.
Stop your whining.
All right, you two, stop flirting.
You're back. How was it today?
You totally set me up.
That's a bit much. Isn't it just a dinner together?
Not excessive? Why didn't you go then?
I had an important client, didn't I? I haven't seen you wear this outfit before. When did you buy it?
Ah.
I haven't worn it for a long time. I bought it last year.
The lipstick looks good.
Good morning, Mr. Wei.
Good morning.
Morning. Morning.
Mr. Wei!
Miss Wei, did you have fun?
It was fantastic. Unexpectedly, you have a treasure of a wife.
My wife doesn't have many friends. She'll be happy if you're willing to hang out with her.
Come on. She plays snooker better than I do. I must set a time next time to learn from her.
No problem. You can arrange it anytime.
If you didn't help me avoid the pitfalls in advance and come to rescue me at the last minute, I would have been awkward by now.
Actually, these people, whether they are domineering or gentle, they all care about the position and their interests. With the Pansha card in hand, Mr. Wei will probably be promoted to vice president in a month or two. The new assistant, Huang Jia. Her father is Director Huang. Lately, Mr. Wei has been very attentive to her.
You mean, for self-protection, he wants to use Miss Huang to please Director Huang?
It might not necessarily be for self-protection. People always want more than they can handle. Mr. Wei is not even 40. His ambitions should be more than just being a vice president.
Above that, it is the CEO. He does have some talent and smarts. Being a vice president is a pretty good match. But if he were to steer the whole situation and lead a company, he's still lacking a bit of vision.
He knows he lacks this bit of vision and needs a strong backing to make up for it.
He wants Director Huang to be this backing.
Well, Mr. Wei's abilities, he does have some small talent. But when it comes to dealing with women, he's the best in the world. As I see that Miss Huang has been well protected by her family, she has no ability to discern men at all. She's already fallen into his trap.
If it is just about supporting his daughter, Director Huang might not remember this favor for long. But if he becomes a member of Director Huang's family, that would be different.
You're saying Mr. Wei wants to marry Miss Huang?
From what I know about him, it's not impossible.
That's totally against my principles.
No matter what, I have to hurry up with the job search.
By the way, Mr. Wei's salary and bonuses are public. And with the bonuses and performance I know about, I've estimated his approximate annual income. In addition, he likes to play small tricks and has taken plenty of kickbacks. Everything I know is in there.
Thank you. You've helped me a lot this time. Miss C told me, in the property division, the other party will definitely try to reduce the proportion of assets I get. But if I can understand his entire income situation and make the divisible cake as large as possible, this is also like indirectly getting more assets.
What's yours? We can't let go of a single cent.
Lin, Panshi's research lab is recruiting again. Are you going to apply?
Of course.
Mr. Wei, just to confirm, we're going to T2, right?
Yes.
Good day, Mr. Wei.
Where's Ming Bo? Wasn't the company sending him on a business trip with me?
He suddenly had an emergency and couldn't get away, so the company sent me instead. Sir, let's go.
These months, you've really caught up on a lot of lessons.
In such a short time, apart from mastering computer programming languages, you've not only filled the gaps in your previous deep learning, but studied deep learning engines and have done a few experiments. You've really put in a lot of hard work.
Getting into Panshi's research lab is very important to me. I hope you all can give me another chance.
Mr. Gu?
I have no other questions. My question is still an old one, and it is the most important for us. That is, how do you balance your career and family?
Mr. Gu is right. The so-called balance actually doesn't exist at all. It's nothing more than trade-offs and sacrifices. But before acknowledging this fact, I want to clarify one thing. A family is made up of everyone. Trade-offs and sacrifices should not be accomplished by just the woman. All family members, including the children, must take on this responsibility. When all family members take on their responsibility and play their roles, then these trade-offs and sacrifices can be minimized to reduce unnecessary waste and try to satisfy everyone. This can also be seen as achieving some kind of balance.
Well, what you just said makes a lot of sense. But what you're expressing is just an idealized state. I'm afraid it's very hard to implement. Moreover, programming is an intense job. Even young employees who just graduated from university sometimes would feel overwhelmed. So what exactly will you use to prove that you are capable?
I want to show you all a schedule. My day starts at 6 a.m. Hygiene and dressing. At 6:20, I prepare breakfast and wake up my family. At 7:15, I take my kid to kindergarten. At 8, go to the market to buy groceries. At 8:40, get back home, clean up the dining table, sort out the clothes, and also handle some payments and errands. In the meantime, I also take online classes on my phone. At 12 p.m., I use lunchtime to order some essential goods. At 12:30, lunch ends, I prepare for dinner. At 3, I go to the kindergarten to pick up my kid and take her to the special classes, encouraging her to study languages, math, and art, among other skills. At 5 p.m., I come home to cook. At 6 p.m., we have dinner. At 7:30, I help my kid with her hygiene and put her to sleep. At 9 p.m., I re-clean the room. and prepare for tomorrow's breakfast. At 10, I continue to study for 2 hours. At 12 a.m., my hygiene routine and go to sleep. This is just the most ordinary day I've had in the past few years. If the elderly or children get sick, or relatives visit the house, then this schedule will get much more complex. In addition, besides time management, several years of housewife life has also given me great improvements in financial management, psychological counseling, and coordination abilities. I think, compared to the job requirements of a junior programmer, the intensity and complexity of my work should be more than sufficient.
In the previous interview and written test, you had the highest scores, so it can be seen that your computational engine and engineering capabilities in machine learning are very solid. Mr. Gu, do you have any other questions?
What if you don't pass this interview?
When I first started looking for a job, my motivation was very simple, which was to earn some salary. Choosing to be a programmer is also because it's a skill I'm good at. But in the past few months of stumbling, I started to remember the self that was lost in the over-identification of being a housewife. So, whether I can work at Panxi or not, I am determined to continue on the path of finding and realizing myself.
Congratulations. Welcome to join Panxi Research Lab.
I hope that every day in the future, I can shine rather than being illuminated. Mr. Jiang, I'm going to work at Panxi tomorrow. I'm just starting out. I guess I will be a bit busy. There will be a period of adaptation. So, I have spoken with Aunt Deng in our community. If I get off work late, she will help me pick up my daughter. Thank you for what you have done.
No problem. Congratulations, Ms. Lin. But this way, won't I be unable to see you every day? What I mean is, if you get off work late and it's not safe, I can pick you up.
No need. I'm driving myself now. It's very convenient. You're helping me take care of her. I already feel embarrassed.
Actually, sometimes I just wish I could hear your voice every day. And see you. It's okay, even it is from a distance. I don't mean anything else. And I don't want to bother you.
Mr. Jiang, I really only see you as a normal friend. And I hope you can respect our boundaries as just friends.
I know.
Mom! Hey! Did you buy me that rainbow lollipop you promised?
Of course. Could I fail to complete a task assigned by you? Go, share them with your friends.
Candy!
Here.
Thank you. Ms. Lin, you still treat me like a child.
Then why don't you start acting like an adult?
Mr. Wei, aren't you going to eat? Why so serious?
I just called Ming Bo. You have replaced him.
You blow the cover so quickly.
Miss Huang, this is a company, not a place for you to play around.
I'm not messing around. I genuinely want to learn something from you. I applied for this business trip a long time ago, but you chose him in the end.
There are 2 reasons why I chose him. First, he has more work experience. Second, on business trips, we inevitably have to attend social drinking events and work late. It's more convenient to have him, a man, accompany me.
So, you also engages in gender discrimination.
I don't engage in that. I just...
So, it's not that I can't do well, but you're worried that I won't do well. I will prove to you with my actions that your worries are absolutely unnecessary. Besides, you don't have any alternative plans now. Let's focus on discussing the project.
We'll settle the score about the impersonation when we get back. Let's eat first. The main purpose of our trip is to negotiate with several established enterprises in Jiangnan. You check the information later and prepare well. Besides, we have to visit several companies and places. Arrange all the routes and vehicles in advance.
Okay.
Ms. Lin, welcome to Pansha, officially starting your career as a programmer.
Thank you.
I'll show you around. Our company was established in 2015. Now, it's one of the leading enterprise software companies, mainly providing database tools, application software, and related consulting support services. The team you're joining is part of the Development Center. That is our R&D center. The R&D center currently has over 180 developers. As you know, our company has always been tech-focused. So this R&D center is directly under the CEO. Here is the workspace. Take a look. Oh, by the way, you also need to download a work application. This one. As for Engine, it is our internal collaboration system. For daily work communication, as well as leave requests, etc., basically everything work-related can be resolved on it. You can choose a seat first.
Oh.
Over here, any of the green ones are available.
I'll choose this one then. Pretty good.
Okay, I'll show you the way. Here. Here it is.
Okay.
All right, I have things to attend to. Find me if you need anything. Keep it up.
Lady Knight,
I'm Lin Shuang. Hello?
your workstation here faces directly towards the CEO's office. No matter whether you're working, slacking off, or sneaking out, it's all in plain sight. You can feel the CEO's close attention. It's a well-known great position in our whole company. I'll get some water.
The product requirements meeting for next week. All the processes have been synced to your computers. Take a look yourselves. Follow these rules and regulations exactly. Every department, please coordinate a bit, okay?
Hey.
Make sure you understand. Dismissed.
Ms. Lin, the product requirement meeting.
Can you understand it with such a fast pace?
Well, improving information acquisition efficiency. You'll get used to it.
Late night snacks and massages. The company's overtime benefits. It's a pity. There's no time to enjoy them.
Sorry, Aunt Dung.
It's fine. She's asleep. I'm leaving.
I'll walk you out. Be careful then. Thank you. so sorry.
Give it a try. Take it to the back end.
Back end?
Yes, take another look. It's not well designed.
Thank you so much.
What's wrong? Any problem?
No.
It may be tough today. We have to revise the plan overnight.
Mr. Wei, I think that client has no intention at all to sincerely cooperate with us. Revising the plan is simply an excuse.
Our mission this time is to turn the impossible into possible.
ARC's strength is there for all to see. There are so many clients in the market. Can't we switch to a better one?
There's no such thing as an easy client. Miss Huang, you're a pampered rich girl. You've had a smooth life, never suffered. It might be hard for you to understand the life of a worker in a short time. That's okay. The harder the task, the more fulfilling it is when it's done. Don't believe me? Try it.
Then I'll try.
Roll 100 sixes.
Mom, the parents of Star upstairs are arguing again. Didn't the fairy tale say that after marriage they will live happily together?
Because fairy tales and the real world are different. Sometimes people like to show the good side to others and hide the bad side.
Actually, I don't like Dad's promotions and raises at all.
Why?
Because he's getting busier and busier. Sometimes, I don't see him for several weeks at a time.
Miss Huang, show me Starlight's information.
In the first lesson, I told you about it. What is the spirit of ice hockey?
It's unity and cooperation. It's team spirit.
I thought you had forgotten. Just now, why didn't you pass the puck to Guoguo? If you don't see her as your teammate, what team spirit are we talking about?
It's not that we don't want to treat her as a teammate.
I wanted to do that, but she runs too slow.
I'm strong. I'm afraid I might knock her over. Later, she would cry and say I was bullying her.
Coach, you also said, in a game, we always want to win, right? We can't just make her happy because she's a girl and let her have her way, right? I don't want to practice with her anymore.
I don't want to practice with her either. Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
All right, that's enough. Stop it. You all, figure 8 drills 20 times. Go.
Miss Lin. Are you getting used to it?
I'm working on it.
It's not quite what you imagined, is it? Big companies need to use speed to combat cyclical pressures. The workplace environment is also relatively complex, so you'll probably find it tough for the short term.
It's okay. I'm pretty happy I'm not afraid of it.
By the way, you brought up an issue to Mr. Chai yesterday. He directly forwarded the email to the head of the R&D department, Mr. He, and then CC'd me.
No. I didn't know he...
You don't need to explain to me. Mr. He is on a business trip today. When he comes back tomorrow, think about how to explain to him.
How could Mr. Chai be so cunning? I sent him a private message to report an issue. Without any warning, he directly forwarded the email to Mr. He. Isn't this obviously making Mr. He hate me? If Schumann hadn't told me just now, I wouldn't even know I was being used as a pawn.
You're just a workplace newbie. They treat you like easy prey. But you are to blame too. As a workplace newcomer, the most important thing is to keep your head down and work. You can't even tell east from west and you're rushing headlong, all out of good intentions, but you ended up as cannon fodder. You do feel wronged.
When I was working at ARC, I didn't feel such infighting.
Because it was in its initial stage at the time. With only a few dozen employees, Panshi now has tens of thousands of employees. So naturally, there are affinities, factions, and camps. It's perfectly normal to have interests. The workplace is not a fairy tale world. In addition to having skills and hard work, you also need the ability to adapt to changes.
Come on, help me think of what I should say when Mr. He from R&D comes back tomorrow.
What else do you want to say? The more you say, the more mistakes you make. Even if you say nothing, it's still wrong.
I'm doomed.
Your hands fast or not?
Based on my recent trip to Beijing for project negotiations, I further understood the client's needs. Later, the colleagues in charge of this project come with me. Let's have a separate meeting.
Okay.
A colleague sent me an email reporting poor performance of the open source quantification algorithm. So before the meeting, I asked QA to run the algorithm and test the performance. I found the problem reported in the email does not exist at all. What's going on?
What's going on?
I don't know.
It was me who sent the email to Mr. Chai. My original intention was to discuss with him how to solve the problem, but he did not reply to the email. So I pulled an all-nighter last night and solved the problem. As for him reporting this matter to you, I'm not sure about that.
Rather than reporting problems, what we need more is the awareness and ability to solve problems efficiently. Panshi needs pragmatic spirit like Ms. Lin's.
No. I just did my job at what I have to do. I'm a newcomer. My principle is very simple. Keep your head down and work. Look up and be a good person. I still have many shortcomings. I hope you can give me more corrections in the future.
Mr. Chai, when you encounter problems, don't always try to pass the buck. Use your brain more. All right, that's all for now.
Come on.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You became famous in one battle. If anyone wants to bully you again, it's gonna be hard.
Seriously, I have to thank you. In the past, I thought you were just winging it. But I didn't expect you to have your own ways, dealing with workplace unspoken rules.
I hope in the workplace, you never have to know these unspoken rules. To deal with these workplace jerks, I have 100 ways. I'll see who dares to bully you.
Well, I'm scared. The subject of interpersonal relationship is really much harder than my professional field.
In the workplace, there are many stories about favors, deception, and betrayal. But you know, the most respected people are those like you who are truly capable, positive, and upward-looking.
Good job, Miss Lin. You did well.
Mr. He?
Mr. He.
It's nothing. I just did what I could do.
When you first came to Zhang University to attend classes, I knew you were special.
You remember that I attended classes at Zhang University?
Of course. Ms. Zhu from HR said you were specially arranged by Mr. Gu.
I was arranged by Mr. Gu?
All right, you guys go ahead.
Take care, Mr. He.
Okay.
What's up?
What's the deal with this, Mr. Gu? He is your sworn enemy. Why would he help you? And he also helped me. Does he have some kind of ulterior motive for you?
He has... Are you crazy? What could he possibly want from me?
You better go back and rest.
All right, Mr. Gu.
I haven't finished it yet.
I've saved it for you. If you're tired, go home and sleep. Don't waste electricity in the office.
You're even managing electricity and arranging for me to attend classes. As the CEO, are you a bit too worried? You arranged for me to go to Zhang University, didn't you? Didn't you always look down on me? Why are you helping me?
There are two reasons. First, you're Professor Lin's daughter. I can't repay the kindness he showed me, so I can only show my gratitude through you. Second, it's my personal reason. Actually, the reason I become who I am today is because of you, in a way.
Because of me?
You were the opponent in my college career that I always wanted to surpass, but just couldn't, no matter what. For 7 years, I lived in your shadow. You know what? In order to surpass you, I studied abroad in America and spent every day in library and lab. After I started my own business, I treated the office like home. I spent 2 years growing my startup into a unicorn in the industry. Even my decision to accept Panshi's job offer and return to China, a large part of the reason was to compete with you again. And now you... I've imagined countless ways of our reunion, but I never imagined this scenario. Have you read martial arts novels?
What do you mean?
I've done everything I can to become a martial arts master, just to compete with you again. Now, I can experience the feeling of being unbeatable. The reason why I want to help you is because of a sense of admiration I have for my former rival. Of course. I also hope that, maybe one day, you can regain the strength to compete with me.
Thank you. But I barely made it into Panshi. I'm still miles away from being your rival. I suspect your wish might be hard to realize.
It doesn't matter. With gain, there must be loss. That's fine. Watching a former rival, now diligently, working for me every day. It's also quite a unique pleasure. Unfortunately, you won't be able to experience this feeling in your lifetime. If you can't hold on, go back and rest. But if you can't fulfill your performance, your salary will still be deducted. You've always been off target. Go home and rest now. Don't stay up late. After all, age is a factor.
Come in.
Mr. Wei, Mr. Gu is here.
Mr. Gu? How do you have time to come here?
I'm here to talk about the OP1.
Let's go. Let's talk in Mr. Ling's office.
Ask Miss Jiang to join us. After all, she made it possible for us to sit down and talk about OP1.
Of course. Michelle, get Miss Jiang.
Sure.
This way, Mr. Gu. This is our product department.
Miss Jiang?
Miss Jiang, so you're really leaving?
Yes.
See you around.
See you around. Take care. I'm off.
Goodbye, Miss Zhang.
Miss Jiang, Mr. Wei is looking for you. Miss Jiang.
What are you doing?
Mr. Wei wants you to come over.
Hello?
Miss Jiang, Mr. Gu is going to ARC. Follow his lead on everything.
Okay. Where's Mr. Gu?
When you sold off Pulyu Tech abroad last year, I figured you'd come back to China to make a big move. And I was right. Mr. Gu, you must be the youngest partner at Panshi, right?
Mr. Gu was already outstanding back in school.
You flatter me, Mr. Wei.
Come in.
Mr. Wei, Miss Jiang is here.
Miss Jiang, have a seat.
Okay.
Michelle, you're not needed here. You can leave now. Remember to close the door.
All right.
Miss Jiang, you're always so careless. Mr. Gu is coming here today, and you didn't give us a heads up. You left us completely unprepared.
It's all right. She's just focused on the business.
Actually, this time, we've made a lot of preparations.
Yeah. If Panshi and ARC team up, it'll be a powerful partnership.
Mr. Gu, Miss Jiang was personally trained by me. She's very capable. In our product department, we may not dare to compare other advantages. But when it comes to getting things done, we're definitely the best. Our tech department has coordinated with you many times, but it hasn't advanced the project at all. When our product department got involved, we immediately got you to come here.
Mr. Ling, I'm really not good at making small talk. Well, the reason I'm here this time is to finalize our collaboration.
Really, Mr. Gu? You're not joking?
Do I look like I'm joking? If you want the OP1, let Miss Jiang handle the contract.
That's great. I'll report to the board, then we can finalize the contract.
No problem.
Mr. Gu? Looking forward to working with you.
Looking forward to it as well.
Who is Miss Jiang in your department? She can actually get Mr. Gu to our company to discuss a deal and cut the price down so much?
Mr. Ling, you may not know this, but this top performer almost left our company.
Why?
Do you remember the incident with Feng Kai?
Oh. She did that?
Feng Kai sexually harassed her first, and she was impulsively reacting. The HR was firm on having her leave initially, but I felt an employee like Miss Jiang, who is capable, should stay. I faced a lot of pressure, or we wouldn't have this deal with Mr. Gu.
Well, interesting.
Have a seat. When you report on the Panshu deal, just say I closed it. Mr. Gu and I are alumni, so it's only natural that we'd get the deal done. It saves you the trouble of explaining. What do you think?
The deal's practically done. As for who brought it in, that's not important.
How did you and Mr. Xu meet?
Mr. Wei, this doesn't seem to be part of my work report.
As expected, your forte is dealing with men.
There are many things I'm good at. You can find out in time, Mr. Wei.
You're working under me after all, so we'll have plenty of chances to meet. Work hard. When I get promoted to VP, you'll benefit as well.
Mr. Wei, you always like to tie your ambitions to your employees. That's not tying, it's hijacking. Besides, the VP appointment hasn't been decided yet. Even though you have the Panshi, I'm the one playing the game. As for whether this card can be played, and what effect it'll have afterward, it's all still unknown. Would you agree?
You're right. If there's anything that bothers you, feel free to tell me. As usual, I'll take care of it for you.
Mr. Wei, you'd better be more careful. My matters are none of your concern.
I have an announcement to make. Starting today, Miss Jiang is transferred back to the product promotion department. She's promoted to business development manager, overseeing Panshi and other key accounts.
Miss Zhang is back.
Michelle, my previous desk is taken by the new colleague. Where should I sit?
You can take mine.
Then please pack up quickly. I need to rush to draft a contract for Panshe. Also, could you please return my resignation contract? Thank you. Lin, today you didn't see that Wei Ming and our office's brown noser Michelle got publicly humiliated, and I had to hold back my laughter. I almost burst inside.
Their faces must have been wrecked, right?
They're quite something. Publicly displaying their face-changing skills, their expressions, switching between sunny and stormy seamlessly. They should be awarded an Oscar. Lin, Thank you. It's the first time at ARC that I could stand tall. The first time without compromising or showing weakness. Thank you for being my backbone.
No problem. The deal is sealed. After that, I'll see how you perform, Manager Zhang. Well, treat me to a meal later.
Of course. By the way, I'm curious. How did you land Pan Shi and Mr. Gu?
I don't have that kind of skill. I am actually about to thank your savior. Bye. Talk to you later.
What are you doing here?
What a coincidence, Mr. Gu. You came to see my dad?
I've done what Mr. Lin asked me to do, so I'm here to let him know. Your parents are getting old, especially Mr. Lin. He just got out of the hospital. Yet he's been busy buying food and cooking, as well as handling the social niceties. From now on, for such matters, just tell me directly. Don't bother him anymore. How could you think of getting Mr. Lin to mediate the cooperation between Pan Shi and ARC? I can't believe you came up with that.
Pan Shi and ARC are two of the top internet giants in China. Their collaboration couldn't possibly be influenced by my dad, who is a retired teacher. Even though I've been a housewife for a few years now, and out of touch with business, I still have some basic common sense. They were bound to work together. Even without my dad's involvement, it was going to happen eventually.
How can you be so sure? That Pan Shi would definitely partner with ARC?
I did some research on Pan Shi's latest product, the OP1. It's currently the best tech software in the Asia-Pacific region, targeting leading B2B companies. Besides ARC, the only other potential buyer is Jingrui, but they've just spent a fortune hiring algorithm experts from Silicon Valley, so in the short term they won't become Pan Shi's clients. This leaves ARC as the only possible buyer for OP1. The only reason you haven't made a deal yet is because Pan Shi is waiting for the best offer.
Your assessment is mostly correct. Looks like you haven't lost your logical thinking.
But without you stepping in, Miss Jiang would have definitely lost her job.
What's your relationship with her?
We're friends.
You do give your friend a lot of face.
I thank you on her behalf.
Thank Mr. Lin. I was helping him, not you.
No, I don't think Miss Zhang is trying to climb up to Mr. Gu.
Huh? You're underestimating her. Who is Miss Jiang? She is ARC's infamous queen of scandals. The leading men, first it was Feng Kai, then it was Mr. Wei. Maybe even Mr. Gu from Panshi is already in her grasp. Having good looks can sometimes make you the face of the company. Plus education and work skills can always be improved later on.
What a great example of diligence makes up for deficiency.
I think what you two just said was a bit much. Miss Jiang brought in Pan Shi. Our KPIs for a year will look good. You shouldn't gossip behind her back.
Hey, I was just joking.
Exactly.
It's fine. I don't mind.
What they said just now was all nonsense. Don't take it to heart. The less capable someone is, the more jealous they are of others.
I don't mind at all. If I did, I'd be pissed off.
To be honest, I never expected you to be so good at your job. About helping you find a job last time? I was rude. I apologize. I'm sorry. But you did misunderstand me last time. I do like you, but I had no intention of taking advantage of you. I mean, I'm single right now, and my liking for you is because I want to be responsible for you.
Actually, they weren't exactly trying to slander me maliciously.
I can understand that. I also get why you reacted so strongly last time. Look at you. With your charisma? In life or work, it's inevitable that some people will think too much. That you can easily get whatever you want. All these are unavoidable. I understand.
In fact, I don't care. Yeah, a lot of people gossip about me. Sometimes a lot of people spread rumors about me too. But what they don't know is how much effort I put into my work. I can't go beyond my own class. I admit that I still have many areas where I'm lacking in skills. But I have a determination to change my fate. This persistence is probably my only advantage. For me, I'm looking for someone I can rely on. Someone who can give me warmth. Someone who can shelter me in this cold, big city. If you had that kind of resource, I'd be willing to take your shortcut. But unfortunately, you're not.
Mr. Wei, congratulations. You've got the Panshi's OP1. It has truly lightened our load. If the technology are all outsourced in the future, there won't have much to do for us in tech department.
Mr. Chen, you're joking. No matter how advanced Panshi's tech is, what we're interested in is OP1 only. Working with outsiders is temporary. The real long-term partnership will be between our two departments.
OP1 is indeed impressive. It's rare that our Mr. Wei, who's in product, knows tech so well and has discerning eyes. By the way, I went to Zhang University to attend a lecture by Dr. Du, the chief expert of Panshi. I noticed your wife was there too.
My wife?
That lecture was pretty professional. I didn't expect Mrs. Wei to be interested in it. Looks like your family is full of high achievers.
You're all here. Let's start the meeting. Mr. Wei, go ahead.
Mr. Chen, the tech department will start first.
Mr. Wei told me earlier that he has a proposal. I think it's quite good.
Off work, let's head out.
Finally off work. I'm exhausted.
Everyone, please wait a minute. How about we all go to the new 3-star Michelin restaurant? My treat. I've booked a private room. And the wine and oysters I ordered from abroad have arrived at the airport. Ms. Lin, could you take a cab to pick them up later?
Miss Huang, I'm sorry. My grandma has been hospitalized. After work, I need to go keep her company. I can't just leave her alone. To go eat at Michelin. I just can't bring myself to do that.
I've got a dinner appointment with Mr. Shu from Fanya Tech. I can't stand my client up. Sorry.
Don't look at me. I'm still working on the Panshi contract.
Miss Huang, I have to work overtime. I've got a mess of issues. I need to sort out. You went all out to invite us for dinner. Why didn't you tell us earlier? You okay?
I can go. It's that blue restaurant, right? I heard their signature dish is Hong Kong-style roast goose. I've been wanting to try it for a while.
Since you are busy, let's call it a day. Forget about the dinner.
Off duty.
Come in.
Mr. Wei, you wanted to see me?
Happy birthday.
How did you know it's my birthday?
It was on your resume. Got any plans?
I just came back to China and I don't have many friends. My parents are also abroad now. I was planning to invite some colleagues for dinner to celebrate, but they're all busy.
You shouldn't spend your birthday alone. As your leader. It might be too much to take you out for a meal, but buying you some dessert and offering my wishes should be okay. Let's go. The birthday cake might be a bit small, but it's better than nothing. Don't mind it.
No way. This is too cute. No candles?
Use it instead. Make a wish.
It works too?
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Seeing this little cake reminds me of the days when I was working abroad. There was a convenience store of this size. The cake there was even smaller than this one. It was really sad. Back then I was working overseas alone. I didn't have any friends. As I worked longer, the loneliness just kept growing. You can't dwell on it. The more you think about it, the more miserable you feel. Then, suddenly, my wife called me that day. I thought, finally, someone's going to wish me a happy birthday today. I picked up and we talked for a long time. But in the end, she didn't even remember that it was my birthday.
That's so sad.
After I hung up, she sent me a video. It was of my daughter, who had just learned to walk. I watched that video over 100 times. It's the best birthday present I've ever received in my life.
Mr. Wei, you must love your wife and daughter a lot.
When I was working abroad, I wasn't very experienced with the job, and those foreigners, not all of them, were so gentlemanly. When they decided to step on you, they'd stomp you into the ground without any mercy. If I didn't keep thinking about my wife and daughter, I think I would have fallen into depression. Fortunately, with the two of them as my emotional support, I felt that those tough times would pass quickly.
Today is my birthday. You've been force-feeding me all this lovey-dovey talk. Is that humane?
You're still single?
Before I came back, I turned my boyfriend into my ex. He was the son of one of my dad's friends, a typical trust fund kid. Of course, he's still a bit lacking compared to my family. Besides trying to impress me, like a tail-wagging dog every day, he had absolutely no merit. Actually, I knew he wasn't interested in me, but in the resources my dad controlled. I despise people like that the most, so I dumped him without hesitation. But since I was a child, all the men around me have basically been like this. It's just because I have a rich and powerful dad.
I think you're just pulling a classic humble brag.
Am I? What I said is true. Mr. Wei, I really envy you and your wife. You've worked hard together, struggling together, starting from scratch. Even if you've gone through a lot, when you look back, it must feel sweet, doesn't it?
There's nothing to be envious of. You'll definitely find someone who loves you and worth your devotion. Eat up.
This is the most meaningful birthday I've ever had.
Well, you should take a picture to remember it. It's getting late. I need to hurry home. My daughter might be going to sleep soon. I won't see you off. I called you a car earlier. Hello? Yes. I'm waiting at the corner. Okay. Flash your lights when you get here. Thanks. Remember to text me when you get home.
Sure.
It's here. Is Guoguo asleep?
You're home early today.
Today's event was simple. Work wrapped up early, so I came back. I heard my colleagues saw you at Jiang University attending a lecture.
Yeah.
With so much going on at home, you still had time for a lecture?
I'm thinking of getting back into my field again. We agreed before that when our daughter is older, I'd go back to work.
I have to advise you to consider this carefully. First, I'm not against you working. I'm worried it'll be too much for you. And if you face setbacks, you'll feel down.
I'm not afraid of setbacks or feeling down. On the contrary, after starting to study again, I feel more accomplished.
So you're saying you didn't feel accomplished when you were at home taking care of us? The family should come first. You need to know your place.
And what is my place? Is my place just to sit here every day, waiting for you to come home and take care of all your needs? I've already given so much for this family. Wei Ming's wife, Guoguo's mom. Now I want to be myself.
Before you got married, you could be yourself. But once you entered a family, it means you must take on family responsibilities and fulfill your duties as a wife and a mother. I completely understand you. If you're bored at home, you could go work out, meet up with friends, and have some afternoon tea. But going back to work is a big commitment with little return. You want to pursue your self-worth, but what about your family's feelings? Just a few days ago, Guoguo almost got lost. You haven't forgotten, have you? In order to be yourself, you'd sacrifice your family. That's not pursuing self-worth. That's selfish.
From the day I got married, I was expected to be selfless. Now I'd like to be selfish for once. I'll take care of the family stuff, but the major, which I've barely managed to pick up, I won't give it up again.
Reality's harsh lessons are more convincing than any advice I could give.
This is the simplest birthday I've ever had. But I'll remember it forever.
I'm honored to be part of your memory. Come in.
Mr. Wei, please take a look. We just launched the new knowledge-sharing platform. The goal is to create a high-quality ecosystem where users want to stay and interact. Why do we add a user incentive system? This will make the product too heavy, increasing memory demands and burdening the users.
You're new to the internet industry, so you might not fully understand it. This product is still in the growth phase, and we need to address the issue of retaining new users. Now, we need to use this new incentive method to stimulate users, thereby increasing their activity and stickiness.
There are different types of incentive mechanisms. How do we decide which one to use?
Well, this matter. Come in.
Mr. Wei.
Miss Huang, have a seat, please. What's up?
I've drafted the contract for Pan Sure that needs your review.
Just leave it there. Well, Miss Zhang is a veteran in our product department. She's very experienced. If you have any questions, you can ask her directly. Thanks.
You can set up group incentives, achievement rewards, fan accumulation, and leaderboard activities. Tell me, for the reward mechanism, should we choose one or combine them? If you're not focused enough to listen, don't pretend to be studious. I don't have the time to waste my breath on you here.
I know none of you like me.
So what?
Why?
Is this even a question? Look around. The people sitting out there, not a single one of them got here without reason. Some rely on real skills, others on clever tricks. But in the end, everyone is here on their merit. Only you rely on your birthright.
Yes, I'm the daughter of a major shareholder, but I'm capable enough with my qualifications.
Isn't that because your dad's got your back? With your off-putting personality, even if you did get into ARC, you'd have been kicked out long ago. Do you know what kind of people we hate the most in the workplace? It's people like you, wielding your get-out-of-jail-free card, bossing everyone around. And we can't get rid of you, but have to appease you. Well, I can't afford to offend you, so I can just avoid you, can I? Of course. You're already far better off than us. Compared to us, you're ahead from the start. But judging people, that's a technical skill. If you misjudge someone, all the perks your parents gave you could be lost. That would be a big loss.
Where are you?
At the gym.
Working out is good. Maintaining your figure is far more meaningful than listening to those internet lectures.
What's up?
This weekend, you take Guogo to her grandma's house. It's our company's CFO, Ms. Wei's birthday. I'm on a business trip, so I need you to attend it.
Birthday party? I don't want to go.
It's just a bunch of people eating and drinking. The main thing is to get closer to everyone. Take it as a company team-building event.
Then I'm even less interested.
It's not about whether you're interested or not. Miss Wei's birthday is always attended by the top brass and their families. Many people are desperate to get in but can't. If you don't go, it's like I'm disrespecting them.
So basically, I'm just your face saver, right?
It's not just about face. There are some bits of info that get shared at these private gatherings. Miss Wei's birthday party is the core circle of ARC. I'm up for a promotion soon. That's why she invited us. So I need you to represent me. You better perform well, don't embarrass me.
Congratulations. Ms. Wei's birthday party isn't something you can just casually attend. It seems this collaboration with Pan Sure has really boosted Mr. Wei's standing in ARC's network. I know you're not thrilled about this, but this is a crucial time, right? You can't just fall out with him now, right?
As you said earlier, It's Miss Wei's birthday party. Not anyone in ARC's top-tier circle can get in. I want to get back into the workforce. This might be the best opportunity. So, I not only have to go, but I also have to go with confidence, leaving a good impression on the big shots. Maybe someday, they'll be part of my network.
Wow, you're very enlightened. Is this the Lin Shuang I know?
I am just being pushed into it. But this is my first time attending such an event. I'm a stranger in a strange land. I'll probably step into a few traps and hit some snags.
Actually, you don't need to be too nervous. These big shots, though they say they're attending a party, they're just for the socializing and for the fun. When you see them, just say hello to them. They won't give you a hard time. But about those unknown traps, I could help you navigate them.